Thank you so much for joining me for Lunchtime Look. My name is Sharon Rogers and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wells, Maine. And each Thursday I like to bring a little craftiness to your midday with a short video. Today is a really simple project. It does use an embossing machine, however, because we're going to be using the Sunflower 3D embossing folder. Now this is a very large folder. And it is exquisite. In fact, I've designed my clubhouse for August around this folder. And for those taking the clubhouse class, you will receive the folder. It's due back in stock when I need to be ordering for that class. And as well as a package of bead trinkets. So we're gonna make 4 great cards. You'll make 2 of each during the clubhouse. But today I thought I'd make something really simple. And let's get started. All right, we're going to take our sunflower embossing folder and I'm going to show you what it's like to use ink on both sides. And I can do that in one pass, simply by inking both sides to start. Now, I believe the one I'm going to like the best is the one that's done on the debossed side. And that's the side that is without the Stampin' Up! Logo. I'm just going to ink this up. Probably could stand to re-ink my pad too, but here we go. And then I'm going to ink the other side as well. Sometimes if they're juicier, they glide over pretty nicely, but other times you got to just keep pouncing. Let's see what we get here. Now I'm going to huff on this side just because it's been a minute before or since I did that. So I just want to moisten that up a little bit. I'm going to just lay our cardstock. I'm using a piece of pecan pie. And then we're going to run this through the embossing machine. So this is a 3D embossing folder. So that means you need a number 1 plate, your embossing folder with the cardstock in it, with the fold going through first, and then the number 4 plate. Now let's take notice, oops, of how it turns out. That was just a little plate falling. All right. So here is the Stampin' Up! Logo side. So let's see what we get when we open that up. So you get this look, which is very pretty. And on the other side, you get this look, which is also very pretty. I don't know. Now, the look that I was going for here was like a wood burning look. So when we were kids, my sister had a wood burning set, and so she would write her name in it, or she would trace a pattern and burn a photo in there or a picture in there. I remember one of my grandmothers was in the hospital and not doing very well, and she wood burned her a little fawn on just a piece of wood, and it was really, really cute. But that's the look I was going for. I'm not sure. I think because there's a lot of stuff in here, a lot of petals, it might not look quite like wood burning, but I think it still looks very pretty. And this side also looks very pretty, just very, very different. So you'll just have to decide which one you like better. And you know what? You don't have to choose, because you can use, you have to do it again, but you can use them both and get different looks. But it is interesting how they look so different, isn't it? All right, so let's bring in a piece of Very Vanilla. I'm going to bring in a piece of Early Espresso for my card base. And we're just gonna layer this on here, and it's gonna look something like that. Just a really pretty card. So it's a flower on it, but it's certainly kind of you know, would be fine for a masculine card too, just because it's so dark, I think. Let's see if we like this side. I'm still not sure which one I'm gonna do. Now there's some ink here that I didn't really want. I probably pressed a little bit too hard there, but I can cover that up with a label. So let me go ahead and get out a piece of cardstock, another piece of very vanilla, and I thought I already had one out, but who knows where that is at the moment. Probably fell when that other thing fell. So let's just get this out. I'm going to cut a piece that's going to be about 1 inch wide. And I don't know, 2.5 inches long, something like that. I'm bringing in the stamp set Label Me Grateful. And it's just a very simple sentiment set. It does have some coordinating dies. I say coordinating dies. They don't really have anything to do with this set other than, you know, we've got this nice label that fits several of these sentiments. But this is, again, one of those that you can just buy the dies, you can just buy the stamp set, or you can buy them both together, and you can use them independently or together. Doesn't matter. All right, I'm going to bring back in my early espresso, and I've chosen the You're the Best sentiment. And I'm going to just stamp that right there. Hopefully this is straight. I'm not looking over it at all. Oh, it's not bad. Not bad. All right, and now let's bring in some twine here. And I think I want about, I don't know, 18 inches. So let me see if I can get that out. All right. This is going to be about 20 inches, which is going to be definitely long enough. And I'm doubling it up. So I'm going to wrap it around here and just tie it in a bow. You can do it a single one if you want to. I only got one strand around there. You can do a single wrap if you want to. This just gives it makes it a little bit more beefy. Really just depends on which look you're going for. So there we have that. And we've got one of the ends here that we have to trim. This is where it was folded in half. That's the end here. I'm going to trim these ends just a tad bit here. And so now I have this, and I can put that right there. So I've got that look going on. I can off-center that very vanilla, or I can center it. And we have something that looks like that. Or we can put it on the other side. And except for when it's on the other side, I really would have to, I think I have to have it on the other side because I don't want to cover up the beautiful blossoms as much. So I think I do like it better over on this side, just for this purpose. And it really does make that texture come alive. It looks in person, and I'm sure on camera, like this is embossed, but it is debossed. It actually sinks down in, it doesn't stick up. So the flat parts are the parts that are raised, but it really is a bit of an optical illusion. Let's just adhere this down. Remember, when you have a 3D embossing folder, especially because they're so deep, you want to probably use glue, and you want to go fairly close to the edges to get it all to stick down. Just get that centered here, and we'll hold those edges down. You want to get a good hold on them. I'm going to adhere this to the base, I think, with some dimensionals. And look, I can finish up a sheet of dimensionals here. Right here on the front. There we go. And then we're going to adhere this on, and I'm going to have to get out some more dimensionals because I just used up that other pack. Oh, they're buried somewhere, so I'm going to just use this up. And this is just, there were some strips that were left over from a paper pumpkin kit. Let's go ahead and make a little bit longer one. We'll put this over here, and that will keep our ribbon from sliding off. I'm going to put another little one just in the center there, just to bolster it up a little bit so it doesn't sag in the middle. And then we're going to cover this up over here, and there we go. You're the best. Now, if you wanted to add some little bee trinkets, you can. These are also going to be featured in my August class. You could just put a few over there, anywhere we wanted. Yeah. So to adhere those, I'm going to just use some glue dots, and rather than get out my roll of glue dots, which honestly I haven't had to use my roll of glue dots in a while because I just simply try to use up these paper pumpkin dots whenever possible. No need for them to go to waste. So I'll just put them on there. It is easier to get the glue dots or get the bees on the glue dot when it's on the roll. But it's not that hard. I can deal with a little bit of fussiness. And I'm just, because these dots are a little bit too large, I just curl them around so they don't show. I'll put that right there, sort of near the center of that. And one more. One more here. And so maybe I'll just put this one right up here like that. And so there I have a very quick and simple card. You could do up a bunch of these in lots of different colors. That would be fun. You could even give it as a gift to someone who loves sunflowers. If somebody were having a bridal shower or even a wedding where sunflowers were kind of a focal point, that would make a beautiful package of thank you cards, perhaps. Now to clean this, all you need to do is run it underwater. So I'm going to do that and come right back. I simply adore this embossing folder. And I started playing with it last night at 11 p.m. I know. And I designed 4 cards for my August Clubhouse class that features this folder. This is the one and probably only time I am putting a non-consumable product in a Clubhouse kit. If you already have this folder, we can make a substitution. But the Clubhouse kit will contain this folder, a package of the bee trinkets, and all the consumable supplies that you need to create 8 cards, 2 of each of the 4 designs. I could have designed many more cards with this folder, but as I mentioned, I started at 11 p.m. And plus, the Clubhouse only needs 4 cards, so that's why I stopped. Now, if you are interested in signing up for this Clubhouse class, simply look in the description of this video if you are watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Facebook, look in the comments section. I hope you'll join me at either the in-person class on Saturday, August 23rd at 10 a.m., or you'll go for the by mail option. It's easy to do this time because you get the folder. So I think it's going to be a great class, and I hope you'll join me one way or another. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and remember, the weekend is almost here. I'll see you tomorrow night for Friday Night Live.